Upon a time, a little red berry changed the course of history. Fellow Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen, coffee was discovered in Ethiopia by a herd of goats. Yes, Kaldi, a shepherd, saw his goats doing a boogie-woogie around some dark green shrubs with bright red cherries. Curious, he went, tasted one, and he was blown away by the stimulating, powerful effect. One thing led to another, and the magical brew that we know today as coffee was born. This is what the legend says. But whether it's a legend or otherwise, the National Coffee Association confirms that the heritage of coffee growing can be traced back to the open coffee forest on the Ethiopian plateau. Shortly after, coffee consumption spread through the Arabian Peninsula into Europe and America. Though we neighbor Ethiopia, quite frankly, it was the French missionaries that introduced coffee growing to Kenya. According to the Coffee Directorate, as soon as we started growing coffee here in Kenya, our volcanic soils were so conducive to the crop that our coffee began known as some of the finest in the world. Alas, up until today, we drink so little coffee. Only 10% of our coffee is consumed here locally. 90% is exported. So my team and I sought out to find out, why do we not drink coffee as Kenyans? We asked a lot of questions across the 49 counties, and we were surprised, we were horrified to learn that only a tiny percentage talked about the taste being not pleasant. Almost all of them had some falsehoods, some myths they believed wrongly about the benefits, or, if you like, the bad effects of coffee. Today, I'm here to emancipate you from these falsehoods. Let's look at them. Myth number one. About 15% of the respondents say that coffee keeps you awake. Did you know there's a difference between awake and alert? A scientific information journal on coffee published in 2012 showed evidence that coffee keeps you attentive. 2 case studies were undertaken. The first, a case-controlled study, showed that long-distance drivers who drank coffee had less crashes or less accidents than those who did not drink coffee. There you go. Coffee saved them from accidents because they were focused and attentive. The second one, individuals were shown an image, quite a complex image. There was one group that was given coffee to drink immediately after seeing that image, and another group that did not have coffee. The following day, those who had had coffee were able to distinguish that image from similar looking images at a greater rate than those who had not consumed coffee. Fellow Toastmasters, do you have a problem focusing, being attentive, remembering? Well, try coffee, and I promise you, me, will throw out myth number one immediately. Myth number two, a whopping 55% of the respondents thought that coffee is bad for your health. Did you know that it has scientifically been shown that coffee contains antioxidants, a bit like fruits, vegetables? Coffee boosts your immunity, and as coffee is roasted, the number of antioxidants become greater. In fact, Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine showed that a recent study in 2020 September, a repeat study was done, which showed that there is a linkage between longevity for patients who have lung cancer as well as colon cancer when they are coffee consumers vis-a-vis those who do not consume coffee. Secondly, it came about that those alertness qualities of coffee prevent the onset of Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and other degenerative diseases. So fellow Toastmasters, if you're worried about losing your memory, try coffee and you will throw myth number 2 out of the window. Myth number 3, 30%, can you believe it? This one is the unkindest of all, thought that coffee is bad for their sex drive. For those of us who know, you cannot do it better than after a cup of coffee. You try it yourself, and this magical nectar will show you the miracle. You will be so happy, you shall throw myth number 3 out of the window. So my dear friends, what are you waiting for? Emancipate yourselves. Drink that heavenly daily dose, and first and foremost, you will be more attentive. You will have immunity, and best of all, you will live happily ever after because those love juices will be flowing through your body. Back to you.
Rozy, thank you for a captivating, well-delivered, well-presented speech. Your speech has emancipated us from the many myths we have held about coffee. I hope that you got to see many of the comments that were shared by the participants this evening because they told it all. You really enlightened us all on coffee, and busting the myths is something that you really did about the coffee. Your project on innovative planning is supposed to help you focus on developing a strong connection with your audience when you present, write a speech, or give a speech. And this evening, you did exactly that. Starting from the origins, the history, a brief history of our national heritage on the coffee side, and building up in a well-structured manner where you broke it down into 3 major myths, which you then went on to burst. Coffee does not keep us awake, but helps to keep us alert. It's not bad for our health. Instead, it actually contains antioxidants. And the third one was also very interesting about it being a magical nectar. Vocal variety, I loved your vocal variety. You had a well-organized speech. You were comfortable with the delivery of your speech, and you kept us engaged. I feel that what you did was really in line and in keeping with the purpose of your project, which was to help you learn and review the basic methods and give us a well-researched, well-organized speech on a topic of your choice. You enlightened us thoroughly and deepened our knowledge on the coffee industry at large. I think that where I would see you challenging yourself really is only to keep on moving up, blazing the trail. You are an inspirational speaker, Rozy, and the path that you have focused on will certainly help us and the audiences that you'll be encountering in your day-to-day in terms of the deepening and inspiring them on topics of your choice. So well done, Rozy. And I believe you delivered this speech in the time that was required. So keep on blazing the trail and keep on inspiring us with your depth of knowledge and also your art of speech making. Well done.